About phone sales and what it takes to be successful on the phone. And I want to start with, I saw a hashtag when somebody's posting somewhere on some social media site that says hashtag failed at phone sales. It's tough. It is tough. Ain't nothing easy. Remember, most people fail in business, period. So it's no surprise that people are having difficulties on the phone, but I'm going to give you some pointers in this video to help you be successful on the phone. In my last video, maybe not the last one, but anyhow, recently I put out a video. I talk about resetting a presentation. Well, you may need to reset your approach to the phone. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on how to get started on a phone call, on a phone sale, and then also some information on how to reset maybe where you are so that you can reestablish yourself and get on a positive track. So first of all, I don't approach this from telemarketing leads. Now I'm promoting that people get direct mail leads, and we're doing that, and we're getting guaranteed rates of return on that direct mail. But we also do, and we promote telemarketing. But if you get telemarketed leads, that's where I want to focus here. You've got to have a good telemarketer. So your telemarketer has to properly prep this person that there's a phone call coming. That's important. And if you're working these phone leads, telemarketed leads, your response needs to be quick. So that is very, very important. If your telemarketer says that Bob, if you're the agent, our agent, Bob Smith, is going to call you right back. When that telemarketer gets done generating that lead, and for example, when people have telemarketing utilize our telemarketing service, we send the lead right to you immediately if you request that, and that is what you should be requesting. But that you call them back right away is critical. That's very, very important. A delayed callback is going to shall I say, by significantly alter the results of your success, that you'll even connect with that person. And when you do connect, it's like, well, wait a minute. Who did I talk to? I don't remember speaking to anybody. But if that telemarketer hangs up and you call back in 15 minutes, you could say, you just got off the phone with my telemarketer. Oh, yes, I remember that. It makes sense. You need to have a strong, positive voice. And I would go something like this. Hey, this is Nick Williams. You just spoke with Mary about the Medicare. She told you I'd be calling. How are you doing? And you have a smile on your face and you're upbeat. And then if they'll say great, terrible, whatever, what's this about? And I'll say, have you ever talked to anyone about your Medicare over the phone before? Let me explain to you. Of course, let them answer. Say, let me explain to you how this works. And then you will go in and talk to them about the fact that it's especially with this COVID-19 virus that they have right now, that it is the preferred mode of communication with clients, that you're not going to have somebody coming to your home, that it's all going to be done over the phone. And I heard some guy on the internet, he said, and you're not going to have a drive-by in the sense that like a drive-by shooting with an agent. I don't agree with that, but it is a funny analogy. He said, yeah, it's like you have some agent do a drive-by shooting on you. I don't know what he said. But anyhow, so that will get you started. And you need to start. So, good positive voice. Hey, this is Nick Williams. You spoke to Mary in my office about the Medicare just a few minutes ago, and she told you I'd be calling. How are you doing? And then they say fine or whatever. And then you say, have you ever talked to anybody about Medicare on the phone before? And then again, you go into explaining how this process works, and that we go through the whole process and give you the prices. And if we can help you, then we would conclude the whole process over the phone. Understand this may take more than one phone call. Oftentimes it takes more than one phone call, especially if you're dealing with more affluent Medicare supplement people, because they tend to, on the phone, they can cut you off. That's why I like face-to-face sales, because they can't cut you off. You can do a complete presentation and you can close them right there. On the phone, they can just say, well, listen, I'll call me back tomorrow at 5, which I hate. That's the reason I don't like phone sales. One of the reasons. Having said that, what's also important is that you put in a lot of time. All right, so I'm not going to go through the complete presentation because we could be here for 30 minutes or more just talking about the presentation. What's important is that you get off to a good start, explain to them what you're going to do, how the process works. And then also what's important is that you have a lot of time on the phone. So you need a lot of leads. A good agent, if they're using telemarketing, they're going to have several telemarketers going at one time. We have telemarketing. We set it up for you for $495. Now, there are other companies that will charge as much as $1,000 for an inferior product. We actually have the telemarketer working right with directly with you. They're communicating with you, and you control that telemarketer. That telemarketer works for you. They don't work for us. So you have complete control over everything that happens in this transaction, and you pay them $3 an hour. That's a great thing, but I'm not here to talk about that. The important thing is that you have a lot of leads. You must have a lot of leads. That's critical. If you find yourself there with downtime, you're not making money. So, you get 10 leads, that's nothing. That's not going to do anything for you. 20 leads, that's really not going to do it. You're going to need continuous leads coming in. So then most people are going to sell Medicare supplements over the phone. It's a little less difficult than Medicare Advantage, although you could say with Medicare Advantage that there are fewer people doing it. So it's more of a specialty. So you're on the phone, you got the hours, you got the leads that enable you to stay on that phone for an extended period of time. I said this in videos before where some people, they just can't stay on the phone. I have guys that I work with and they're great on the phone, but they say to me, Nick, I can't stay on that phone more than 20, 25 hours a week, which is, then it comes to a question of dedication. It also comes to a question of your state of mind when you're on the phone. And I want to give you an analogy. A lot of people will not succeed because they're uptight on the phone. I've talked about this all the time, the white knuckle thing. You can hold your hands tight. Go ahead, do it with me right now. And then when you let go, you feel so much better. But this is how people are operating. That's where you need to operate. You need to operate in the relaxed mode. Okay. Another thing is, don't look at what other agents are doing, because they'll always have these superstars on these videos. Like I could put an agent on here and say, oh, this agent closed 20 deals last week or something. But don't worry about that. It's the tortoise in the hare. You have agents, they'll talk about so-and-so made, $50,000 last month. 6 months from now, they're out of the business. You need to focus on comparing yourself today with where you were yesterday. That's what matters, that you're improving. And also understand that you're going to have setbacks. If you're dedicated to this business, then the setbacks aren't going to matter. You're just going because you're dedicated. And you will follow through and you will make it successful. But most people are going to say, I'll try it. I'll try it isn't going to work. You're going to say, I'm going to do this. I want to make this happen. The agents that I know that have been successful, they've had no doubt. They're just like, okay, I'm going to put this together, make this happen. It's a matter of formality for them. The agents that say, well, I'm going to give it a shot, they generally don't work out. I'm going to repeat. You need leads. So you definitely need to have a lot of leads. And again, utilizing our telemarketing program, a lot of people have 2 telemarketers going at once because you figure an agent can get 4 or 5 leads a day. Well, 4 or 5 leads isn't going to cut it. So, but if you have 10 or 12 leads or even 15 leads, now you've got something to work with, because that can keep you busy. And especially if you can have those agents, like we do live transfers, so that may work for you. But just the fact that agent, that you're sitting there and you have multiple telemarketers, that are sending you leads throughout the course of the day, and you can call them right back as soon as the leads are generated, is a big deal. So it's hard work. And I gave you the intro to the presentation, the phone script. I'll go over the full thing in another video, but that's not what matters. What matters is that you have that right attitude, that you are working hard. And I will say, it's not about working smart. It's about working hard. Smart doesn't ever create success, but hard work does. Hard work creates success. That's where you need to focus. Hard workers always outperform smart people. Always. I won't say always. He's a good example. But that guy works, and he's a good example. He works around the clock, never stops. He doesn't stop. And he's a good guy to research, Google him or YouTube him and get into his work ethic. It's non-stop. And that really is what's going to make you successful, is nonstop. So again, we go back to lots of leads, lots of time on the phone, and I'm repeating myself. So I'm going to end this video right now. And I wish you luck, and I wish you success on the phone.